Talking Pictures, Part 1. This is where I describe my thinking behind the image that I've created. This is a picture which is a painting, a watercolour, and I have set it off with a border mount. The proportion of that width is important. This could be thin, thick, sometimes two colours, and it's important to, with the colour here, not to introduce anything which isn't already in there. You don't produce a new colour, and often people choose by default cream, which is to me the worst possible colour. It doesn't work with any picture or photograph, but it's what people often choose. Here I've chosen a darker and contrast colour to make this a window, so you've got a definite window effect here and a sharp edge. I tend to always favour much darker contrast on the border. I don't really like light borders, and I find they only really work with watercolours, but not photographs. You could have done a double mount here, which is a thinner border about this colour, and then a thicker border, this type of colour, and that's a nice presentation. That's emulating the traditional way that a picture looks like in a gallery, and I'd sometimes put a white key line around the internal edge to simulate the cut of the actual card mount. In terms of presentation of any type of picture, when someone gets a picture framed, they'll maybe be concentrating a lot on the actual moulding, which is the frame around it, but the most crucial thing is this mount. That really does the presentational job. Get that right, and that's where you get a satisfying presentation. This is the Forth Rail Bridge, and any type of image is all about angles, particularly in photography, and the rule of thirds. So we've got essentially a third here and 2/3 approximately, and we're working with the golden section, so we'll get 2/3 from the bottom to here and 1/3 down, and this bit here becomes the golden section. That's the point where you put the important thing that you rest your eye to. So we have approximately 2/3 there and approximately 1/3 of a gap here, and the clouds 2/3 and then 1/3. And then when you look at the scene and run down this angle, which gives a great sense of dynamics and depth, leading you right down here to the distant shore, giving a two-dimensional picture depth, we need somewhere else to go after that. So your eye moves out, looks around, runs down here, ends up here. What happens next? You get a resting point. You need somewhere for your eye to finally rest. It's like a full stop at the end of a sentence. You need somewhere to go and feel happy and rested, and that's here. It's a bit like resolving in terms of a tune or a chord sequence. You go do 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 do. That resolve is similar. This is a visual version where you rest here. Otherwise, your eye will continually dart around. So that's what makes for a good composition. The contrast with the deep reddish and the blue is very nice, and a graduated sky. Angles are very important, as I was saying, and I'll show you a number of aspects of angles here which emphasise and make for a good picture. First of all, this is not symmetrical, it's asymmetrical, and that's very important. So the lady is positioned to the left of the frame so that we can get, and she's looking directly, this is very powerful, looking very directly at you, a strong posture, and we've got nice angles, and I'll show you them all. Here's an angle going down like this, and here's an opposing angle which is crossing over with the barbell, the weight, and then here's another angle here. These are all very important to get right. And this is head cant, but it's a powerful head cant. Often women cant their head to make them look feminine and kind of a bit more approachable, slightly vulnerable in their head cants. This is a strong posture with the chin solid. And we have strap angles running like this. And this is important. We get an angle going like this, and an angle going like that. And this is matching this type of head angle here. And if we have a kind of blandish background, this pushes the lady right up into the front of the image. And what we get is a very aspirational image. Everybody would want to be that fit and strong. So this makes for a powerful image, and she looks completely taut and toned. So this is someone that would get a lot of respect in society, and we want to be this good. The idea here is I've emphasised the angles because I've been harping on about angles here. And then we've got an incredible wall running here at this angle. And again, we're crossing over with an extreme angle, but note that the head is straight. This is important. Upright head, showing confidence. It's a mysterious image, but she's not a weak person. She's strong and thoughtful, and upright, head up. Extreme angle here, another angle there, and then this is running down here, putting you into the distance, and we have something here to keep our mind rested or occupied. We can sit around here. The focal point is this, so that would be another resting point. And the contrast in the blues and the pinks and reds are opposing colours on the colour spectrum. This idea is to show class, and these people are quite clearly upper class, almost aristocracy. They're not working class for sure, they're not upper working class, they're not even middle class, and they're not even upper middle class. They're right into the bottom rung of the aristocracy. And we have angles again, 30 degrees and 60 degrees. These are the angles you use in geometric angles you use as a draftsman if you're creating a three-dimensional picture of any building. You were using just two angles, this angle and that angle. And posture, he's indifferent, detached, and in his own world. She's very conscious of her social position and being more approachable. Great etiquette with her posture and her shoes and legs here. He's looking very superior here. They're all very well dressed and well groomed, and that shows their class and just respectable port or sherry they're drinking. Fantastic set of shoes, and this is all about deportment and how civilized people behave. And I put in the little thing here because this is where your mind eye will be going, what's this all about here? It's a switch for the lamp, and that's a little bit of a distraction deliberately put in there. Almost incongruous, but that is deliberate. In this painting, this guy is a hitman, Gary, and this is Jilly, who's turned up at his boathouse, and she's taken over his kitchen, and she's very body confident, and she's doing the dishes, and she's not frightened to turn her back on him. Remember, he's got a gun and he's a hitman, and he's almost looking a little schoolboy. Great angle here, leads you along down to the washing up liquid bottle. What's this in this container? And these angles, almost vulnerable, protective, wearing shorts, makes him almost look a little schoolboy, and she looks almost like his mother. Very well groomed, fantastic hair, and he's weary and wondering why this woman is so socially dominant.